Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Not much movement in the temperatures this morning. Still sitting around 37 degrees and seeing overcast conditions out there with a northerly wind. Should see cloudy conditions remain as we move through the day today, and we'll see chilly conditions prevail as well. Overall, expecting mostly dry conditions moving through our working hours, and most of the precip chances should start to move into the area as we get later into the evening as that next disturbance moves through our region. Take a look at the current surface analysis. We have this area of high pressure centered over the Great Lakes, going to gradually move eastward. It's going to turn our winds more onshore as this upper level disturbance moves through the area. We'll see a weak area of low pressure developing along the coast to help enhance some of that low level moisture. And again, that's going to be bringing that wet weather through the area over the next 24 hours. Looking at the upper level winds from this morning sounding, seeing northeasterly winds near the surface to northerly winds just above the surface, and then seeing winds become westerly, west-northwesterly as we get into the mid and upper 25,000 feet. Seeing our peak wind today of 78 knots. That's between 16 and 20,000 feet. And our freezing level today is at 1,800 feet. We look at our current visible satellite, we can see plenty of clouds over the area. Again, expecting to stay socked in those clouds as we move through the day and into tomorrow, and probably won't see much of that cloud breaking up until we get more so into Friday. We'll see a few peaks of sun possible late in the day tomorrow. We look at the high resolution model here. We'll see how things play out over the next couple of days. Again, expecting mainly dry conditions through our working hours today. Can't rule out a very slight chance of maybe a light sprinkle or light rain during the afternoon time, but better chance as we get past 1600 local or towards the close of business today. We'll see a low end chance of those initial precip chances possibly mixing with some sleet, as you can see with the model indicating with this pinkish color here. But if that is to occur, would be fairly brief, and again, just a very slight chance of that happening as we see going into the evening, mainly as we get past 20 local, and even more so as we get past the midnight time frame. That's when we'll really see the rain becoming likely. We'll see likely on and off rain through the early morning hours of Thursday as this rain activity pushes through the area. We'll see gradually warming temps, so again, that's going to keep this more of an all-rain event as we move into the day on Thursday. Possibly seeing a break briefly as we get into the start of the day on Thursday, but will be short-lived as we'll have more showers pushing through with this kind of second wave coming through during the morning hours on Thursday. We can see some pockets of heavier showers there. That's going to be when we see a low-end chance of maybe even a rumble of thunder, or maybe a few bits of lightning with maybe one of those stronger cells pushing through. But again, not looking very likely, around 15 to 20% chance. But nonetheless, continue to see those rain chances. And as we get into the afternoon hours on Thursday, expecting much of the precip activity to come to an end or become fairly widely scattered. Going into the second part of the day on Thursday, this is when we can see a few breaks in the clouds, and then going overnight Thursday night into Friday should stay fairly dry, but can't rule out a slight chance of maybe a passing shower. You'll see here the NAM model not quite indicating that, but we do see that indication on some of the other modeling coming in for Thursday evening into Friday. And on Friday we'll see partly cloudy conditions. We'll see some slightly breezy winds, but a much quieter day. We'll see fairly mild temperatures just above average as we move through the day. If we zoom out, look at the longer term forecast here. Again, after a quiet Friday, we'll see another disturbance moving through the area similar to what we'll see over the next 24 hours that will push through during the day on Saturday, as you can see here with the European model indicating there's precip chances really starting to move into the area later in the day on Saturday. I believe GFS has it a bit earlier. It does indicate some wintry mix there as the initial precip moves through, similar to kind of what we're seeing this evening. The better chance of that will be north of Wallops at this time. That's the way it looks, likely seeing mostly to all rain as that lifts through the area Friday into early on Sunday. And then we should see a break in activity on Sunday. The boundary that was trailing the system does look like it will be a dry boundary as it pushes through Sunday. So Sunday looking quite a bit drier at this time, and possibly seeing mostly to partly cloudy conditions as we move through Sunday and into the evening. As we get into next week, quite a bit of uncertainty here, but it does look like we will see multiple rounds of precipitation swinging through the area, at least the way things are looking at this time. As you can see, this boundary kind of draped across the area. First round of precip moves through on Monday. Are some indications maybe this starts off as a wintry mix as well. But again, a little far out to really narrow that down. The European does have that happening and then transitioning to more of an all-rain event through the remainder of Tuesday. And it does look like we'll see continued precipitation as we move into Wednesday, possibly seeing that come to an end late Wednesday with maybe some additional rain on the way as we move through the later part of the week. But again, quite a bit of uncertainty as we move into next week. It does look like we'll see precip moving through the area multiple days through the week, and possibly even some wintry mix. But again, we'll narrow that down as we get a bit closer out to that time frame. So looking at a 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we do have green conditions expected through the working hours today. We'll see our high temperature around 40 degrees, but that may be a bit optimistic as I'm not expecting temperatures to move much with the cloudy conditions today. We'll see those winds northerly becoming more northeasterly as we move through the day, right around 6 to 11 knots. So again, overall green conditions through our working hours. Very slight chance we see some light rain possibly this afternoon, maybe possibly a few sleet pellets. But again, the better chance of rain comes as we get into this yellow risk for precip past the 1600 local time frame. That's when we pick up a slight chance of rain. Again, slight chance we see some mixing sleet early on, but then we'll gradually see those warming temperatures. We'll see our low temperature of 34 early in the evening or late afternoon, and then again there's gradually warming temperatures as we move through the evening. Winds becoming more onshore out of the east and picking up slightly, 7 to 12 to 8 to 13 knots. Increasing chances of precip as we get past 20 local, and then precip becoming likely, rain becoming likely as we move past midnight this evening and through the morning hours, and could see a few peak gusts up around 18 knots as those temperatures rise into the upper 30s and into the lower 40s. We will see reduced ceilings and visibilities with that shower activity, so starting off with the yellow risk after 20 local and then moving to an orange risk as we pass the midnight time frame. Tides are running normal at this time, and for tomorrow we'll see continuing rain chances in the morning time frame, and again a slight chance of maybe even an embedded thunderstorm, again 15 to 20% chance. We'll see red risk for that precip threat continuing through the morning, and again as we get into the afternoon that rain will become widely scattered, possibly tapering off. We'll start to see some breaks in the clouds, and behind that we'll see some slightly breezy winds, so we do pick up that yellow risk for those elevated winds, as well as yellow risk for those reduced ceilings and visibilities early on to start today, as we'll likely see some lingering low clouds with that shower activity. And again, that yellow risk for some lightning chances early on during the morning hours. Thursday evening, overall should stay mainly dry with mostly cloudy conditions. It will remain slightly breezy for the first part of the evening. We'll continue to see some low clouds, so looking at a yellow risk for that low cloud possibility. And again, that slight chance of maybe a brief shower moving through the area. But as we get to the start of the day on Friday, should see partly cloudy conditions and staying fairly mild overnight with a low around 44. Friday, we'll see partly cloudy and slightly breezy conditions with our high around 56 degrees, and overall expecting green conditions for our weather risk. So moving to the extended forecast here for the weekend, that next system moves through during the day on Saturday, looking at about a 6% chance of rain moving through the area. Slight chance for some sleet early on, or possibly some wintry mix early on. But again, will most likely be mostly rain through the remainder of the day and into the evening. We'll start off with our low around 31 degrees and just seeing another chilly day with our high up around 40 degrees. Slightly milder as we move into Sunday, looking about a 15% chance. That will likely go to a 0% chance. Not looking like we'll see much in the way of precip at this time. On Sunday, we'll see decreasing clouds, mostly to partly cloudy, but we will see some breezy conditions but a mild high around 55 degrees. And then again, moving into the beginning of next week, quite a bit of uncertainty still at this time, but it does look like a good chance we'll see some sort of precip activity continuing through the first 2 days of our work week. And again, chance for some wintry mix possibly early on with that first round of precipitation. But again, we'll have to narrow that down as we get a bit closer. Hard to really seeing those models spread on that and jump around a little bit. But looking at those high temperatures in the upper 30s on Monday, and then we'll see a bit more seasonable as we go into Tuesday with those high temperatures getting into the 40s. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.